Emily, welcome to or back to my channel. Today I have a fun video. It's a London vlog. So I've just gotten back from a picnic with my friends. I also filmed a day where I was shopping in Soho and just like going around seeing what's happening there. I'll get into that footage now. I hope you enjoy it, and then I'll come back and show you guys the books I've been reading this month and loving. I'm going to have a favourites video up soon for this month as well, so I'll include more books and fashion and beauty there, so make sure to subscribe if you want to see any more videos that I make. I hope you enjoy this video and leave me a comment. Let me know what you've been up to this August. In Soho this morning and I'm about to get some breakfast. Maya. Oh, Mark Jacobs. Hey, yeah. I'm about to get a haircut, which is desperately needed. Just on my way to get my haircut, and then I will show you what it looks like. London's in a bit of a heat wave right now, so it's kind of hot. I've just had my hair cut and I love it. It's so sleek and like 90s vibes.
Let's take this show on the road. Ish, different day, I'll be bored out my mind. Hometown, love my place, but while I'm in my prime, gotta go get away, hop a train, cop a flight. Tonight I gotta break free. My job knows I'll be working my nerves. Clock out at home.
This is my favourite part of the film. I love this place. I'm going to pop into Carnaby Street and go to Brandy. It's a really beautiful weekend in London right now. My favourite place. I hope you guys can hear me. Basically, this is just a bit of a glow-up day. I'm so happy with my haircut. My hairdresser is amazing. This is very like Rachel Green inspired 90s hair. I'll show you better later when I actually have my other camera. I'm off to Brandy. I love their clothes, even though they're basic, but they have everything you need, like for pajamas especially. And like if you need a basic t-shirt, Brandy is the one. Brandy was a no-go. There wasn't anything I really needed. They did have really cute teddy bear pajamas. I'm wearing these shoes and they're from ancient Greek and I love them and they're very comfortable in Greece, but not so much in London. And you kind of feel the whole ground through your shoes, but I still do love them. Let me know if you like these like vlogs where I'm just taking you around with me in the city. It's really hot. I think I'm overly dressed. Right now I'm wearing my Zadig Voltaire top. I'm wearing my Beckenbridge skirt, I'll show you later, and my ancient Greek sandals, like jellies, which I do love, but they're just like not super practical. They're more of a beach shoe. I think I'm gonna go get lunch with my sister, and I'll catch you guys later. Hi. I'm about to go to my favourite coffee shop, Café Leon d'Or. Leon d'Or. Yeah, they will. I went to Liberty, which if you've never been to London, you absolutely have to go to if you ever visit. It's the most beautiful department store you could ever see. And they right now are celebrating their 150th anniversary. It's an old Tudor building and I filmed inside because they had this amazing display of quilted patchwork that they put together to create this tent or house inside of the building. And it is really amazing and intricate and beautiful. to.
Give him a humming.
That's a great idea. Stunning!
What camera?
Should we go?
Don't forget, guys.
Those are the ones.
So I'm back and I'm going to show you my books that I've been reading this month, or the favourite ones that I've read so far. So the first book is Virginia Woolf's Mrs. Dalloway, and this book is actually celebrating its 100th anniversary, and I can't believe I've never read it before. I was in Cambridge and Waterstones and I saw they had like this display to celebrate the 100th anniversary of this book, and so I thought it was about time that I read it, and I definitely knew I would really enjoy this, but I haven't read it yet, and that's crazy to me because I really love Virginia Woolf. So far I'm about halfway through, just a bit more, and it's such a gripping book. It is so unique because it follows Mrs. Dalloway and the people that she's kind of connected to over one day, and it's the day that she's hosting a party, and yet the book feels so full. It feels so much more than a day has passed in the half that I've read. And what's really interesting that I love about Virginia Woolf's writing is her experimentation with form, especially in novel form. I love her nonfiction, but in her fiction she does something really interesting where she is able to jump from perspective to perspective so seamlessly, and she moves between characters and their points of view in such an interesting way. It's not predictable at all, and yeah, it feels so seamless and moves so fluidly, and yeah, the flow of her narrative is so interesting because it's not super plot driven, while there is a plot because everybody's getting ready for this party and it starts in the morning and then it's heading towards that evening. So it does have like this momentum and movement, but there's also like a lot of stream of consciousness in the writing as well. And I just love how like you'll read from Mrs. Dalloway's perspective and then it will jump to her friend from years ago, and then the character will be in Regent's Park and they'll see another two characters, and then it will jump from that character thinking about those characters to those characters' point of view. And that's really cool. And what I also love about it is that Virginia Woolf writes about London in the 20s and is so specific about how she writes about location. And I love that. I love when authors do that. You read about Piccadilly and Regent Street and Regent's Park and all the places that, you know, are so familiar if you spent time or lived in London. And so it grounds the work in this reality that is so easy to be drawn into. The way she writes and her voice is so intelligent and honed, so it's just such a joy and such an experience to read her work. And when you really get into it and when you really dive in, it's like hard to put the book down, even though it's not plot driven heavily. And those types of books are my favorite books, where you're just so drawn in by the author's voice and her characterization and what those characters are revealing and saying. It's really interesting. So yeah, that's one. And then the other book that I've been reading, which I think I'll talk about more in my August favourites because I'm almost finished with this one. So I feel like I can talk about that in a bit more depth. So this is Jane Austen's Bookshelf by Rebecca Romney, and it's about the women writers who helped shape a legend. I really love Jane Austen, so it's no surprise that I would enjoy this book. So Rebecca Romney is a rare book dealer, and so she decided to collect the books and curate a collection based on the women writers that Jane Austen was inspired by, that she loved, that she read. And so she's tracing back these women in the 1700s, early 1800s, and seeing how their works connect to Jane Austen. What's particularly interesting about this book as well is that Romney explores how these women became a part of the canon or became excluded from the canon, and she dissects how that happened by tracing back the books and the different editions through the ages, and that is really fascinating. She's written about women like Anne Radcliffe, Charlotte Lennox, Charlotte Smith, Frances Burney, Hannah More, Elizabeth Inchbold, Hester Piozzi, Maria Edgeworth, who I'm on her chapter right now, which is the last chapter, and I'm just loving it. I just love reading about these female writers because I've always been so interested in Jane Austen, and I've read so much about her life and I've read so much of her work, been to her house. I am a big fan, and it's actually so hard sometimes to find women writers that have vanished, even if they inspired somebody like Jane. And the fact that when I was reading about these women like Frances Burney, I just became so interested in her life and in her works, for example. And she wrote books that I feel like I would love and I've never read. I feel extremely excited after reading this book to read more, but I also feel so disturbed by how it can come to be that a woman and many women who were deemed some of the most preeminent voices and novelists of their time can disappear from the canon. And so it's amazing work that Rebecca Romney's done to create a book about these women and their works. It really, really touches on feminism and history and a lot of what Persephone Books works with as well, where they're, uncovering books that have gone extinct or writers whose voices are less heard now than they were back when they were super popular in their time. And it's just interesting that it tends to be women's voices that this happens to, and it's like really disturbing actually. And I've talked about this before in my Bath video, but it's something I'm very, very passionate about and very interested in researching and studying. This was a fantastic find, and my mum found this in Daunt's Books in Marylebone, which I am going to film for you guys. It is my favourite bookstore. Let me know if you've enjoyed this video. Also, sorry if the camera footage in London was a little bit shaky. I'm getting used to using that Canon, like it's a little Canon camera, and I need to work on holding it still when I'm out and about. And yeah, I'm going to be filming a lot more videos. I've really enjoyed having a video up every week of August. I hope you guys have been enjoying these videos, and let me know in the comments if there's anything in particular you'd like to see from me. So have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.